Now to continue the men's singles draw, please welcome our players, Singapore's very own Lin Qian and China's Yingsha to join Tina for the rest of the draw.
Hello. Happy to be here again. We will continue with the seeded players 5 to 8 that are going to be drawn in position 16, 32, 33, 49 from top to bottom. Position 16, please. Seeded player 7, Zora Matsushima, Japan. Position 32, seeded player 6. Thank you. Felix LEBRUN, France. Position 33, seeded player 8. Lin Qian, Chinese Taipei. Position 49, seeded player 5. Truls Moregård, Sweden. And we will continue with the seeded players 9 to 12 that are going to be drawn in the positions 9, 25, 40, 56 from top to bottom. Position 9. Seeded player 12. Jang Yoo-jin, Korea Republic. Position 25. Seeded player 10. Benedikt Duda, Germany. Position 40. Seeded player 9. Xiangpeng, China. Position 56. Seeded player 11. Danchu, Germany. And finally, we have the seeded players 13 to 16 that are going to be drawn in positions 8, 24, 41, 57 from top to bottom. Position 8. Seeded player 16. Anders Lind, Denmark. Position 24. Seeded player 15. Simon Gauzy, France. Position 41. Seeded player 13. Felix LEBRUN, France. And position 57. Seeded player 14, Darko Georgic, Slovenia, please. And we will continue with the remaining players to the remaining positions from top to bottom, with the restriction that the qualifier cannot meet another qualifier in the first round. Position 2. Player 38. Fin Lu, Australia. Position 3. Player 18. Shunsuke Dogami, Japan. Position 4. Player 48. Cho Dae-sung, Korea Republic. Position 5. Player 19. Oh Jun-sung, Korea Republic. Position 6, player 64. Qualifier. Position 7, player 22. Dmitry Ovcharov, Germany. Position 10, player 24. Wen Weibo, China. Position 11, player 31. Omar Assar, Egypt. Position 12, player 59. Qualifier. Position 13, player 23. Kanakja, USA. Position 14, player 28. Tomislav Puchar, Croatia. Position 15, player 54. Kwek Isaac, Singapore. Position 18, player 32. Hiroto Shinozuka, Japan. Player 19, position 63. Qualifier. Position 20. Player 62. Player 62 is a qualifier, and as a qualifier cannot meet another qualifier in the first round, we need to draw another player, position 20. It's 58, another qualifier, so we have to draw another player. 51. Tom Jarvis, England. Position 21. Player 53. Lim Jong-hoon, Korea Republic. Position 22, player 17. An Jae-hoon, Korea Republic. Position 23, player 39. Nicholas Lam, Australia. Position 26, player 27. Flavien Cotto, France. Position 27, player 34. Quadri Aruna, Nigeria. Position 28, player 20. Zhou Jihao, China. Position 29, player 49. Aditya Sarin, Australia. Position 30, player 62. Qualifier. Position 31, player 41. Eduard Ionescu, Romania. Position 34, player 44. Lilian Bardet, France. Position 35, player 58. Qualifier. Position 36, player 40. Christian Karlsson, Sweden. Position 37, player 33. Manav Thakkar, India. Position 38, player 43. Huan Yuzheng, China. Position 39, player 47. Youssef Abdelaziz, Egypt. Position 42, player 42. Fen Yixin, Chinese Taipei. Position 43, player 55. Pan Cohen, Singapore. Position 44, player 21. Patrick Franziska, Germany. Position 45, player 35. Yuta Tanaka, Japan. Position 46, player 61. Qualifier. Position 47, player 36. Chen Jusong, China. Position 50, player 60. Qualifier. Position 51, player 37. Jonathan Groth, Denmark. Position 52, player 56. Chua Jos, Singapore. Position 53, player 25. Thibaut Boré, France. It's okay. Position 54, player 26. Yukiya Uda, Japan. Position 55, player 50. Adrien Razenfose, Belgium. Position 58, player 29. Chen Yuanyu, China. Position 59, player 45. Milos Redzimski, Poland. Position 60, player 57. Qualifier. Position 61, player 46. Wang Chunting, Hong Kong, China. Position 62, player 30. Anton Schallberg, Sweden. And position 63, player 52. Ricardo Walter, Germany. And this is the conclusion of the men's singles draw, WTT Singapore Smash 2026. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina. Ladies, if you could join me on my right, let's have a quick chat with you both. Okay, we'll start with Lin Qian. Now, it must be nice to be representing Singapore on home ground. So, what are your thoughts on your first match? And how do you maintain your headspace in major tournaments such as this one?
So being able to play on home ground is always a very rare opportunity, and I really treasure a lot. Every opponent here, especially in the main draw, is a very tough draw for me. So I just hope I can play my best and really just enjoy the game with the crowd cheering for me, and don't leave any regrets. Yeah.
We'll be sure to cheer for you loud and clear here at Singapore Smash 2026. Now, over to you, Shasha. As the defending champion of the women's singles here at Singapore Smash, what about your game are you most excited to present at the very first Grand Smash event of the year? 那 Shasha， 这是你新赛季 WTT 系列赛首战比赛哦。那作为卫冕冠军，你期待有怎样的表现呢？
觉得还是希望自己还是一场一场全力以赴去打好比赛吧，因为我觉得其实再次来到新加坡，我觉得还是非常熟悉，而且新加坡的空气，包括其实每次来到新加坡打大满贯的赛事，我觉得都从赛事的这种举办方来说都非常好，不管是环境啊、食住啊，其实我觉得都还是能够让运动员能够去专注的享受比赛，然后当然其实能参加大满贯的选手也都是，我觉得是世界上最强的选手，所以说希望自己还是不设定怎样的成绩跟目标吧。然后因为自己也是通过亚洲杯其实比赛的复出以来，我觉得自己整体的竞技状态，包括整体的水平还是恢复的不错，所以说希望自己还是能够保持以往的这种心态吧，然后全力以赴打好每一场。
I always approach every new tournament with a fresh new mindset, but personally, I love competing here in Singapore because the way Singapore Smash is being organized is something I really enjoy, from the food to the environment. Even the air here is good, so I really do enjoy every Singapore Smash that I get to play at. And of course, we meet the most competitive players at Singapore Smash, so I will not rest on my laurels, but thankfully I recovered fast enough from my last tournament, so I am looking forward to approaching each and every match with a fresh new mindset. 谢谢你, Shasha, and thank you, Lin Qian. All the best to you both. We cannot wait to watch you at Singapore Smash 2026. Oh, actually, players, could I have you come back just for a second, because I realize we do have to commemorate this occasion with a group photo. Can we please invite our esteemed guests, Mr. Chen Si, Mr. Daryl Yeo, as well as Mr. Munir Bessa, along with our players for a group photo? Shall we stand next to the trophies? And we have the players right in front of our guests. Perfect. Is everyone in shot? Okay. Thank you so much to our esteemed guests as well as our players